Okay, everything's moving fast. We got to get going. Got a lot to do here. Really disappointing game. Just to give you a quick wrap up on it, in a number of ways, we just didn't perform like we're capable, and so we continue to have work to do. We made some progress in some areas, and played a really good game on defense, and had a really good fourth quarter finish and rolling there for the offense, and then we gave it away. So it was a good win for them, and we get some real serious stuff we got to get better at. With that, we have a game coming up Thursday, and division team that we know well, that we have battled with these guys for years, and we always have big ball games with these guys going there for Thursday night. It's going to be a quick turnaround for us. We've got our formula for doing this, and that's why we have to keep moving. And I hope your questions are succinct and to the point as always, and we can keep moving. Okay.
How did it look with Dwayne Brown in there?
He did really well. He played really well, very consistent, really solid in the run and the passing game. He did just what we had hoped he would do. He did a very good job. And he and Ethan played well together, too. They did a nice job there.
What can you do about the penalties you haven't already done?
We're going to keep working at it. We've got a number of things that we're going to do, and we'll get after that again today and step it up. We think it's very, it's a group thing, obviously, when you have a bunch like this. But it comes down to individual choices and making good decisions and doing things right. And so we're going to jump all over it and with another emphasis today.
Outside of the volume of penalties you had, was there anything that stood out about the ones that you got? Anything that troubled you particularly?
There's 5 on the line of scrimmage. Those always irk me the most. Because those are the ones that's totally self-inflicted. But there's, they were kind of across the board. There was a couple holds on scrambles and, some things that we know that we work to learn in the nature of our play. Russell's running around, and those offensive linemen have to know when to release and feel that, and we didn't make that choice a couple times properly. So there's just stuff that continues and needs focus.
You guys led the league in penalties during 2 years you went to the Super Bowl. Were you winning despite that, or did that reflect a level of aggressiveness that you like about it?
You guys can make that determination. You can make that determination.
Would playing time be a consideration for guys that habitual penalty guys?
That's a nice way to go about it. And sometimes it may get to that. Yeah, it may get to that. We're not there yet.
Big picture, 8 games in, just how do you feel about this team halfway through?
That we have so much to improve, and I am surprised somewhat that we're not farther along in these areas that we're talking about right now, because these are things that we really can control, and we have a chance to be good. We've been putting up a ton of yards, moving the football like crazy for a while now, and we have a chance to have a good season. We got to get at it. We can't let any slippage in here, but this season is wide open, for everybody at this point. We're at the halfway point, and a lot of things that can happen.
How did you feel about the pass protection of Russell yesterday?
I thought the protection was pretty good in general. Russ was quick to move in the game more than some other games, and we've seen him like that at times. He was working for space, and he did a lot with his legs, and it was effective. He ran for a bunch of yards in the game. There's a little give and take there, but sometimes it's been like that, and this was one of those games where he was moving quick.
Would you like him to stay in longer?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes.
Have you talked to Blair today? How's his, demeanor? And
Not seen him yet today. Our guys have not been around yet.
What's Earl Thomas look like for this week?
I can't tell you that yet. I don't know. I won't know until really Wednesday, Thursday.
What's going on with Jermaine with some of his penalties, all the holdings he's leading the league? Is it?
Yeah, he's got some line of scrimmage stuff, and he's been sloppy with his hands, and that's basically what it is. He's one that has not really nailed the sense of when Russell's getting out on his side. That he's got to release. But he's had his share, and it's definitely a point of emphasis that has been there for some time now. It's disappointing that we're not fixing this faster.
you talked about some of his false starts. Is that a matter sometimes of trying to get a head start as opposed to just reflexively?
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
When Russell runs so often. What is he seeing that's, what kind of pressures make him run out of the pocket?
There's a variety of things that make him move. Sometimes it's just the space and the opportunity. You know, he can feel the rush just opens up, and there's a lane that he knows better than anybody that he's got space to go, and he'll take advantage of it. And sometimes that's just the way he gets in that mode, and you know we've seen it a number of times over the years, and it's been very effective and helpful. But you know, you miss some opportunities when he takes off early because he has that kind of opportunity, and so. You know, you have to give and take with it.
Is protecting Russell a little bit different if you're a lineman than any other quarterback, just because he is so elusive and maybe that instinct to hold somebody to protect his
question. There's added dimensions to it. Yeah, you know, there's more to it than the guy who's going to be sitting in the pocket all day long. You know, and it's taxing. You know, guys are competing to get his block, and then he feels the guy start to move, and that's when it's not always that they're holding, you know, onto a guy longer, or it's just that the way the guy moves away from him. It's, you know, they're trying to go this way generally, then they go another way, so it shows up sometimes. But we have to get good at it because that's the way we play.
Their last two pass plays, you guys were fairly aggressive, I guess, defensively. Any second guessing or second thoughts on those, or?
Well, we could have played them differently. Yeah, we had a pretty good day rushing the passer, and we wanted to see if we could get after him and continue to be aggressive, you know, in that mode, and that's what happened. There's always choices, you know. You guys are, I don't want to say famous for, but you guys, let me say this. Often the outside observations are that you play too soft and you give up too much, you know, when you're playing prevent and all that kind of stuff. Well, we certainly weren't doing that. So there's a time to mix, and we didn't, you know, in that one they got us. It happened really fast. It was two plays, bam, bam, and they were there.
What caused you to decide to go on man coverage in those two plays? Was it just because you wanted to get more pressure up on the quarterback?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, it was because we were playing aggressively throughout the game, and we had been rushing really well, and you know, those were the choices. And I mean, we didn't have a chance to show you all the thoughts we had right there because it went bang bang, and they're all the way down the 1 yard line.
What's the teaching point for Shaq on the deep completion near the goal line there?
Stay on top.
I was going to ask, what did you see from Shaq and Justin on those couple plays?
Well, the one to Justin was a fantastic throw by the quarterback under duress, and the catch was good too. You know, they just got separated a little bit on the break, and on the go ball. I mean, I'll give you right the whole thing. Shaq was in good position until about the 30-yard mark, and there was a little bit of separation that occurred. You know, a little bit of separation that happens sometimes, and the guy made a great catch on a great throw. You know, both those were exquisite throws and catches, and sometimes that'll beat it.
What were you doing differently with Bradley McDougald, who really did a good job as far as moving him around up close to the line of scrimmage and occasionally having Cam back a little bit? What was Bradley doing?
Those are just choices in the matchups and stuff. You know, with different guys, different formations and things like that.
What worked well with that?
I don't think there was anything that didn't work well with that. You know, I think we were fine. You know, everything, it was just part of the plan. That's all I want to say about that.
You mentioned this morning potentially getting Deion Jordan back. Just for a guy who's been out as long as he has, what's it been like having him around in the process for him to kind of work his way back? Yeah, well, it's been a long haul just with us. Watching him as far set back as he was early on when he first, you know, after he got here, then he encountered some issues that he had to deal with. You know, we were real excited about it at the start, and then he had kind of some setbacks that he had to deal with, and he did. He did extraordinary work to make it back through all of the stagings of it, and then as he's returned to the action here in the last couple of weeks, it's been exciting to see him back out there. You know, and he's still rusty and all, and there's no way he can't be. I mean, when he plays for the first time, it'll be like his first preseason game in 2 years, you know. But he's well equipped, you know. He's a big, strong, fast kid, and dying to play and all that. So if this is the time we can get him back out there, you know, we'll start the process of returning him the ball. He's got a chance this week.
What have you been able to learn about him in 2 weeks of practice time?
That he's a big, strong kid, and he moves around well. Just like I said,
stuff that you couldn't see before you got your hands on him somehow.
He wasn't able to do anything. Okay, so he had like 2 days of kind of running around, and then he had to go back into the rehab mode. So we really haven't seen much. Watched him condition a little bit, on the side and stuff like that, and seen his work habits and the energy that he put to working through a long recovery. A lot of guys could lose interest. He just didn't. He kept battling to get back, and it's a great sign of what he's put into it. So we see a real competitive, gritty dude that wants to get back and prove it. And so all of that's impressive.
Do you know if Eddie Lacy can play this week, or?
I don't know that yet.
What did you see from Thomas running?
He ran hard, as we know, and got a little bit of feel, and I think it's a good stepping off point for next week, or this week coming up, and away he goes.
You guys, a few years ago, tended to rank higher in scoring than you did in total offense, like yards gained, and now that's kind of flipped.
I think it's getting in our own way too much, Danny. We've had too many, where we haven't scored. The red zone thing, numbers have not been quite what we want, I think these penalties creep into this as well, and so I think we have an opportunity to be really explosive and really good-looking offense. We're making first downs and we're moving it. We're getting explosive plays and all that. We got to cash in on the drives and cash in on the opportunities. Instead of kicking 3 field goals, this week we need to score some touchdowns there.
And one more. On Blair, do you worry about his confidence, or just kind of one of those games and you move on quickly?
Well, I'm concerned for that he had trouble in this game. I don't think that has to do with anything next week. We'll find out. Let's see him come on back. He's been great. He's been kicking like crazy, and expect him to get right back to that.
Did you see a
and
step
we're playing
forward?
indoors this week, aren't we? That'd be nice.
Did you see a step forward from the rushing game in totality this
Yeah, when you look at the numbers of all 3 running backs are over 4 yards a carry. That's stepping in the right direction. Russell's numbers added to it, of course. There was a portion in the game when we wanted to see if we can get back on track, and we kind of went around the running game a little bit just to see if we can get a better rhythm than we had, and so we lost a few runs in there. But I thought the guys ran hard and ran well, and it was cleaner.
Bobby's coming off another big game. Just how well has he been playing this year?
Yeah, he's doing great. The thing about Bobby too, he was hurt this week. He didn't practice Wednesday, Thursday, and really we worked him out in pregame to see if he could hold up. He thought he could. We just wanted to make sure that he could, and went out and played a great football game again. And he's having a fantastic season. He just continues to just be so productive and making so many things happen.
Deshaun Shedd a chance to return this week, or is this?
No, not yet.
How's Marcus Smith today?
He's home today. He's in the protocol, and he had a real shot that he took, and so he might be a little bit.
How did Bobby come out of it? Is he all right?
Better. Yeah, he actually came out feeling better than he went in, and it was surprisingly he felt better after the game than before. So I think he's real encouraged that the week went well and everything worked out just right, and he made it through the game, and he's ready to go again.
How impressive have you been with Dwight Freeney, too, in his 2 weeks?
Yeah, how about it? He's been involved in 3 sacks already, and he had 2 or 3 other rushes where he was as clean as you could get. If the ball didn't come out right now, he'd have had sacks then too. So he just continues to show why he's Dwight Freeney, and he's had all these numbers in the past. He also, not only when he's his own rushes, but he's done a really nice job in games too in the first couple of weeks with us. He's a good complimentary guy too, isn't he? He'll do his part to get other guys clean too, and really sharp and disciplined about that.
You mentioned after the game about Russell being out of sync. Did you see anything in film study that gave you a clue about what was happening?
Going back and looking at the game, yeah, but we need to visit a little bit more on that. I haven't had a chance to visit with him much other than just messaging, and coaches have gone through it with him already. And there's something here, something there. He felt the right side a little bit in pass protection, and caused him to move a little bit earlier than he needed to a couple times. But then he took off and made some marvelous plays by his movement too, and plays that we missed out on, unfortunately.
DJ Alexander and Trey Madden.
Yeah, Trey Madden, he's got a pretty serious injury right here, and DJ's got an ankle that's bothering him. He felt pretty good today, but we won't know. It's just such a quick week. It's hard to know what's going to happen in this week. So this is really a challenge for these guys that normally would have a full week to get back, and it's hard to predict what's going to happen. So we'll just have to wait. Really, it'll go all the way to game day, I think, for DJ, but not for Trey. He's out.
Anything else?
Thanks, guys.